We are standing here in Merkinė Jewish cemetery that is located in Boston. But people who are buried here came from town of Merkinė or Meretz in Lithuania. And I am talking to the person thanks to whom I found out about this cemetery, because before him there was no photos online of Merkinė Jewish cemetery and this memorial to the Jews who were killed in Merkinė. Ilya Goldovt. So how did you discover this cemetery here?
My relatives from Merkinės, and I'm very close to. I often go to Lithuania, I often go to Merkinės, and then through Google search, I found that, and I'm from Boston, that in Boston, the city I am from, there is a Merkinės cemetery. So I drove here and I found this cemetery. I made pictures and then I published this picture on Facebook. We have Meretz Jewish Facebook. Two young Lithuanians from Merkinė, they created this group. And then I found about Merkinės Relief Association, and they will exist till 1985. So this was.
So Merkinė is a very small town in Lithuania, even though there are many Jews there, it's still in a number of thousands. So how it became possible for Jews of a single Lithuanian town to establish this, well, quite large cemetery in Boston area?
It's a pretty simple. So people immigrated from Lithuania at the beginning of 1900s. So just the Lithuanian Jews, they for looking for better life. And when some Jews from Merkinės came to Boston, they wrote to their relatives. And their relatives came to Boston as well. So when people starting growing up, then they create financial institutes like Boston Meretz Relief Association to help other people. And then, well, they created a cemetery. In this cemetery, it's not only people originally came from Merkinės. Well, there are some descendants from them. So this is, you can see that quite, as you said, quite large cemetery from small city of Merkinės. And in Merkinės there were many Jews before Holocaust. And now Merkinės is a very famous city in Lithuania. So this is the answer for your surprise, that pretty large cemetery. It's not only from Merkinės, it's descendants from these people.
Among the places that we mark on the map.lithuania.com, a map of Lithuanian heritage sites in America, there are some other Jewish cemeteries like this. But what's pretty unique here is this memorial to people of Merkinė in particular who died in Holocaust. In many cases, the Jews have integrated into wider American Jewish communities, but these descendants of the Jews from Merkinė still felt that connection with their hometown to build this memorial.
Yeah, it's pretty touching. I agree with you. It's not so often that, not in general for our brothers and sisters who was perished in Holocaust under Nazis, but this is particular for our brothers and sisters from Merkinės. Yeah, it's not so often on this monument.
Indeed, so far it's the only one marked on the map, a monument like this. And if you know any more monuments like this in America for particular Jewish people of particular places in Lithuania or of Lithuania in general, or more cemeteries like this, we would be grateful if you could send that information to us or write in the comments. You were born in Minsk, Belarus, and before immigrating to the United States, you spent quite little time in Lithuania.
Yeah, I was only twice.
So how did you become so interested in Lithuania and Merkinė?
Okay, so my father had diaries he typed. He created these diaries for many years, and he described his childhood in Simnas and Merkinės for all his life. Sure, not everything in this diary, because it was under Soviet regime, and people don't trust diaries too much, but it was a lot about Lithuania when he was a child. And then when from United States I came to Lithuania, immediately I visited 3 places: Simnas, Merkinės, and Semeliškis. But in one day, it's just. But then, next year, I start to come to Lithuania every year. Every year I spend 2 weeks on summer in Lithuania, and then I covered all Lithuania, especially this our family small cities, and then it was very helpful. My father's diary, even streets, what he mentioned in Merkinės, I found this in the Merkinės. Even this bridge, famous bridge through Nemunas, where Neris and Nemunas they unite, this big bridge, it was exist, not like current one, but when my father was a small boy, and he describes this one. So from my father's diary, I know a lot. So thanks for my father's diary. So his project, life project, was helpful for me. And many people ask me, how do you know so much about Lithuania? Because you haven't born in Lithuania. Okay, it's from my father's diary.
Yeah, and your grandfather was a rabbi in Mexico.
My grandfather, David Goldovt, was a rabbi and a teacher from Merkinės. And there are documents on internet, they described him. He was a teacher, he was a rabbi and a teacher. He taught Gemara in the school.
And so you have supported many projects in Lithuania, for example.
Yeah.
Translation of the book about Righteous Among Nations,
Yeah.
people in Lithuania who helped the Jews. So why do you think it's important?
I did supported many projects in Lithuania, but the most what I am proud of, I initiated translation from Lithuanian language to English, the album about a Lithuanian who saved the Jews during the World War. And the rationale behind my main idea was Lithuania is a small country. Lithuanians is a small nations, total, including in all the world. There are not more than 4 million Lithuanians. So the original album was in Lithuanian language, but people outside Lithuania, well, they don't Lithuanian language. They can see only pictures, and they don't understand. And I think, especially with the tragedy of Jews, what happened in Lithuania, where native Jews from Lithuania were killed, it's very, very important to have fair and balanced information. So we know that a lot of people, from Belarus, a lot of people were killed. But we should know about people who saved Jews in Lithuania. And I personally know many such people. Well, now they passed away. And my friend, my closest friend in Simnas, Romas Jechnilevičius, so his grandparents, they saved Jews. They are in Yad Vashem. This was the project that I am proud of.
So I'm glad you did it, and I'm glad you are still keeping connection to Merkinė and Lithuania, because if not this connection, we wouldn't have known about this cemetery either, as you probably would not be interested enough to actually take pictures and post them online and post the pictures of this memorial here.
You do a great project. From all my heart, I wish you success. You're really very patriotic Lithuanian young people, and you do a lot for your motherland, for history of your motherland, and I wish you success, and you will have success.
Thank you very much. And if you would like to visit this cemetery, its site is marked on map.lithuania.com map. And if you are interested in more interviews like this, follow this YouTube channel.